dear brothers and sisters, we celebrate. We celebrate the bleeding burger, meatless of course, yet with the mouthfeel of meat. We celebrate those who've got to have it. The mouthfeel, I mean, even to a red chemical oozing out when they bite into it. This fake meat is not merely a highly processed food, it is ultra processed. The blood that oozes out is derived from a genetically engineered yeast. A number of studies have shown that ultra-processed foods raise the risk of cancer. The more ultra-processed food you eat, the greater the risk. There is reason to believe that fake meat might have a similar impact for the simple fact that never in the history of mankind has genetically engineered yeast been a part of our diet. It is something totally artificial. If processed meat is a well-established contributor to cancer and ill health, do you really think that lab-created, genetically engineered, yeast-derived meat substitutes are going to be any safer? Let's go deeper. Factory farming is responsible for a large part of today's air pollution, water pollution, deforestation, raising carbon emissions, and the depletion, erosion, and poisoning of soils. In a contained animal feeding operation, or CAFO, the animals are packed together in unspeakable conditions, atrocious and filthy. They belch tons of CO2, methane, and nitrous oxide into the atmosphere. Why not, then, abolish the cows, abolish livestock, and replace them with fake meat? Why not? But wait. According to Dr. Mercola, as a rule, I believe man-made foods are vastly inferior to natural whole foods and always will be. Outperforming nature is a tall order, and no one has succeeded yet. Fake meat is nutritionally inferior to real, non-CAFO meat such as 100% grass-fed beef. In moderation, grass-fed beef is very beneficial. Also, raw milk and raw milk products are a wondrous food. Ask any biodynamic farmer. Healthy, vibrant soil and plants require an animal essence. Even if you don't use or utilize the animals for anything, yet a farm requires animals, especially cows and steers, on its premises. They bring something indispensable. Well-composted cow manure is gold, pure gold. As a soil conditioner and moderate fertilizer, it is beyond compare. Cattle are an essential part of a truly regenerative agriculture. As Ron Cummins with the Organic Consumers Association explains, there are 8 billion acres of pasture and rangeland worldwide that are simply not suitable for raising crops, but can support livestock. Cattle play an important role in the ecology of these lands. It's a paradox. Imprisoning animals in factory farms is a major contributor to the pollution of air and water, but allowing them to graze is a key to sequestering excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This carbon is stored in the world's billions of acres of rangelands and pasturelands. As Ronnie Cummins tells us, through the miraculous process of photosynthesis, plants, including pasture grasses, have the ability to breathe in CO2 and transpire or release oxygen, simultaneously turning atmospheric CO2 into a form of liquid carbon that not only builds up the plant's above ground biomass, the leaves, flowers, branches, trunk, or stem, but also travels through the plant's roots into the soil below. When a cow eats a blade of grass, the grass sheds some of its roots to balance the top with the bottom. These then are eaten by the worms, nematodes, and microbes, digested by the soil in effect, and so added to its bank of carbon. This is how soil is built up. Thus, photosynthesis, as generated through healthy soils and forests, and 100% grass-fed holistic grazing, draws down excess carbon from the atmosphere and stores it in our soils to reverse global warming. And let us not forget the manure that the cattle deposit on the ground. It is said that a great deal of the fertility of the Great Plains is due to the manure deposited by endless herds of buffalo. As Judith Schwartz explains in her book, Cows Save the Planet, holistic, rotational grazing, especially in pastures where perennial trees and plants are growing, is the key to averting climate catastrophe. Ron Cummins surmises the long-term answer lies in the transition to sustainable, regenerative, chemical-free farming practices, not in the creation of food manufacturing techniques that replace farms with chemical labs. Fake meat, then, is no quick fix. It is no resolution to the crisis of American agriculture. It is more a symptom of its decay.